Boys and girls, welcome back to another fresh, delicious, brand new video. Lately on my TikTok, I saw this one video of an amusement park. The ride looked like it was cracked at the top, like when the roller coaster went around, like one of the beams was cracked and it was moving. So this led me into this deep dive of accidents that have happened at amusement parks. So I found 5 that will shock you and are pretty crazy. And also, these are not in any particular order. These are just some cool ones that I found and some interesting ones. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe not. This also reassured my fear that I already have of going on roller coasters or these amusement park rides, especially the ones in like the small carnivals that looks like they're set up by like 2 poles and with one guy that he probably got the job from Craigslist or something. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into 5 of the craziest freak accidents at an amusement park. In the summer of 2006, an incident at Shamu Stadium in SeaWorld shocked audiences and ignited a heated debate about the ethics of keeping marine mammals in captivity. For years, SeaWorld's iconic killer whale shows had captivated the audiences, showcasing the immense beauty and power of these majestic creatures. But on the fateful day in 2006, everything changed. Tragedy struck as a veteran trainer, Dawn Branshaw, lost her life during a live show. This incident left the world questioning the safety and ethics of keeping orcas in captivity. The only orca that should be kept in captivity is your mom. The incident sparked a wave of public outrage, with activists and animal welfare organizations demanding the end of killer whale shows and the release of all captive orcas. SeaWorld, deeply affected by the tragedy, implemented new safety protocols and enhanced training programs. They emphasized their commitment to marine conservation, highlighting the rescue and rehabilitation program as well as their educational initiatives. Nevertheless, the incident served as a turning point in the public perception of orca captivity. It ignited a global conversation about the ethics of marine mammal entertainment and continues to shape the way we view these magnificent creatures today. Have you ever been to SeaWorld? I love the shows where they have the sea lions doing funny tricks. Some of them are even playing musical instruments. I love it, it's hilarious. Number 4, we have the air race accident at the Ohio State Fair. I've actually rode one of these at my state fair, and it was one of the scariest rides I've ever been in. I've been on a few other roller coasters that go upside down and do kinds of crazy twists, but this one was one of the scariest.
Breaking news at 11, a deadly ride malfunction at a state fair. At least 1 person died in Ohio tonight.
The Ohio State Fair is a beloved annual event where families come together to create memories and have fun. But on July 26, 2017, this joyous occasion turned into a nightmare. During the fair's opening day, tragedy struck when the fireball ride malfunctioned, resulting in the loss of 1 life and injuring 7 others. Okay, now this is also a plot twist of the century. Just 2 days later, on July 28, 2017, another incident occurred. The air race accident involved a high-speed aerial thrill ride that promised an exhilarating experience for spectators. The air race consisted of 6 aircraft suspended from a rotating arm. Riders were experiencing intense G-forces and adrenaline-pumping maneuvers, but what was meant to be an exciting spectacle quickly turned into a tragic event. Eyewitnesses described a horrific scene of one of the aircraft suddenly detached from its arm mid-flight, crashing to the ground. One of my biggest fears is having this happen to me, because that crosses my mind every time I hop on a ride. I'm thinking it's gonna come off the hinges, it's gonna go off the rails, and I'm gonna go flying. Now, overall, amusement parks are pretty safe. I think only like 4 or 5 people die a year, whereas we get like 50,000 a year in car accidents, so it's pretty safe for the most part. Panic and confusion spread through the crowd as emergency services rushed to the scene to aid the injured. An aviation safety specialist explained that the investigation revealed a catastrophic mechanical failure caused the aircraft to detach, resulting in the loss of 1 life and several injured. Authorities conducted thorough investigation into the ride maintenance, operator training, and design flaws. These inquiries aim to prevent similar incidents and ensure the safety of fairgoers. Today, the Ohio State Fair continues to thrive. The tragic event of 2017 serves as a reminder that vigilance and accountability are essential to prevent accidents and assure the well-being of those attending these joyous events. I know these don't sound crazy, they're mostly just malfunctions, but number 1 is like mind-blowing, literally. Number 3, we have the nightmare of Dreamworld in Australia. In October of 2016, a day of fun turned into nightmare at Dreamworld, Australia's most popular theme parks. The Thunder River Rapid Ride, say that 10 times fast. The Thunder River Rapid Ride, a river rafting attraction, has been operating for over 3 decades at Dreamworld. In October 25th of 2016, tragedy struck when a malfunction caused a raft carrying 6 passengers to collide with an empty raft. The collision flipped the raft, trapping 4 people underneath the machinery, while 2 miraculously survived. The victims' names were Kate Goodchild, Luke Dorset, Ruzi Aragi, and Cindy Lowe. And just like the previous incidents, it prompted an immediate investigation into the maintenance and the protocol of this ride.
It's a theme park tragedy. It happened overnight. We mentioned this at the top of the show.
The investigation revealed a litany of errors, including a lack of proper safety mechanisms, inadequate training for the staff, an absence of an emergency shutdown procedure. Funnily, the ride had been due for a safety audit just weeks before the incident, but it had just been postponed. Eesh. Talk about bad timing. The families of the victims, devastated by their loss, sought justice and compensation for the negligence that cost their loved ones their lives. The case led to a protracted legal battle, which highlighted the responsibility of amusement parks to ensure the safety of their visitors. Yeah, that's a pretty scary way to go. Luckily, 2 people did end up surviving this accident, but unfortunately 4 were not lucky enough to come out on top. Now, this next one is actually one of the most recent ones. It actually just happened in 2022. Pretty sad. This actually happened to a 14-year-old boy. This also went viral on social media, and this is actually one of the only ones that wasn't due to a malfunction. It was more due to the poor training of the staff that cost this young boy his life. On March 24, 2022, 14-year-old Tyler Sampson visited Orlando's Icon Park with his football teammates, excited to ride the Orlando Freefall.
430 feet. That's great. Coming down 75 miles per hour.
Deemed the world's tallest drop tower, Freefall lifted riders 430 feet in the air and then dropped them. Sampson was nearly 100 pounds heavier than the ride's posted weight limit, but ride attendants strapped him anyways. Freefall worked as promised, but when the car began decelerating, Sampson slipped out of his harness and fell to his death. A guest captured footage of the accident on his phone, immediately uploaded the clip, and Sampson's death video was widely circulated. The investigation that followed concluded that the ride was mechanically sound, but that Sampson should not have been allowed on the ride. At 383 pounds, he was way over the ride's weight limit, and the ride's operator apparently loosened the safety harness to allow Sampson on and overrode the harness warning light.
I don't know. Did you check it? Yeah, the thing the light was on.
You guys are sure you checked it?
We did, yeah, the light was on.
That's just horrible. The negligence of this employee cost this young boy's life. This is just tragic. It was probably one of those employees that we all know that looks like they got that job off of Craigslist. And the #1 spot, like I promised, it was mind-blowing because this was deemed the deadliest water slide in the world. When you think of a water slide, you think maybe 5 feet, maybe 10 feet at max. This water slide was 169 feet tall. Water slides are not meant to be 169 feet tall, but that was the height of Verucat. Hope I'm saying it right. I think it's German. This is the word. A water slide at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City that dropped riders down a nearly vertical 17-story chute at speeds of approximately 70 miles per hour, sending them up an incline and down another drop. They called it Verucat, German for crazy. The slide was the masterpiece of the co-owner of Schlitterbahn, Jeff Henry, who designed and built it with the help of park senior designer John Schooley. Neither man had any background in mechanical engineering, but they did have a goal: to build the biggest, fastest water ride on Earth. After 2 years of construction and safety testing, through a process that was mostly involved by trial and error with sandbags, the pair opened Verucat to the public in 2014. The most amazing part of the story is that it took 2 years for someone to die on this crazy contraption. The unfortunate victim, 10-year-old Caleb Schwab, met a particularly gruesome end. The raft Caleb was riding in went airborne on the rise after the initial drop. Although Verucat featured netting to keep people from flying out of the ride, Caleb hit a metal support and was decapitated. His head and body landed on the water chute and slid down the rest of the way, coming to a stop in the pool at the ride's bottom, where Caleb's brother and mother were waiting. The guests riding behind Caleb also suffered facial injuries, perhaps from Caleb's decapitated head slamming onto them. It was bad, and also probably very traumatizing. Despite the lunacy of the ride's designer and the fact that Caleb was the son of Kansas State Representative, no one was ultimately found criminally liable for the death. Anyways, have you guys heard any of these stories? Let me know down below which one was your favorite, which one was the craziest. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you guys again in another fresh, delicious, brand new video. Peace out.